It turns out, Pete, last week, institutional investors were buying that dip. And sadly, retail investors were selling into that dip. So NVDA is the stock I'm going to highlight, Pete, because they were named the top rebound stock in the S&P 500. Wall Street basically saying the slump was overdone. NVIDIA is now up, get this, Pete, 24% since last Monday's low. An amazing move. We traded down to 92. Technically, we traded to 90, but we opened at 92, and there wasn't much trade down to 90. But nonetheless, that is an amazing move to come off the bottom that quickly, Pete. And for folks that were in stock when it fell all the way down to 90, I don't know if too many of you were holding on at that point. On the other hand, if you had options, you would have options to hold on longer. And so look at that low right there on the screen, $90 and some change, and a $500 million share turnover, Pete. That's massive turnover in NVIDIA. What did you think here?
Yeah, no, I think you make a great point. And Bank of America got out there and said, hey, look, if you're looking for something, this is the name after everything got beat up the way that it did. It does make a lot of sense. They do have some competition out there, John, and part of it has to do with the fact that some of the restrictions that the Biden administration has gone to in terms of NVIDIA, and that's not a negative. It's just there is restrictions out there on what they can do. They're concerned about what might be used for the military, all the AI chips and everything else. Makes some sense. So I think that, but that doesn't mean that others can't get in there. And it seems like there might be a little competition trying to jumping in there right now in the AI chip space. That's something I think to keep an eye on. I'll tell you, the fact that, like you said, August 5th, it's trading $90 in the pre-market. 90.69 was the number. And today we've gotten over 115. It gives you a little bit of an idea that once all the dogs got done, there was a bunch of folks out there feasting on this thing, and it's been moving to the upside. We've seen a lot of folks do really, really well with the unusual option activity in this one as well, John. It's been crazy, and it's been a moving stock that's been absolutely almost unstoppable from last week.
Well, and folks, if you wanted to trade it, maybe you need this book.
Wait a minute.
What book? Yeah, this book.
That book.
It's not an option. Both books are good. In fact, all four of our books, folks, are good. We're going to be coming out with a box set soon, but it's not an option. If you were in stock and it fell from, basically the high was 141, Pete, and for it to go from 141 to 90, that's pretty ugly. If you were in an option trade, you were probably risking a couple dollars. And when you lost half of those couple dollars, you should cut that loss. If you were doing the same thing with stock and watching the stock plummet down, and keep in mind, it opened at 92 last Monday, opened there. So you couldn't have sold it higher unless you had pre-market access. And in most cases, you wouldn't have got much over 95 because we were opening down 1,000 points. That's when these things could have saved you. Options. So go claim your book. It's not an option.com. That's it's not an option.com.